How do you stay motivated to study when you're stuck in an unmotivated slump? I'm Wheeler, and these are some ways that have helped me to tackle this problem, and I hope that they will help you too. There are timestamps down in the description below if you want to skip to a specific tip. Let's get started. Firstly, set shorter and more achievable goals instead of longer ones. This will keep you more motivated to study as it gives you a short-term satisfaction that can help you to keep you going. This is also why going on TikTok or scrolling through social media is much more fun than studying, as it gives you a sense of dopamine. However, if we apply this for studying by setting short-term goals, we can be more motivated when we succeed or accomplish a task, as progress and recognition of progress are the primary motivators of people. Adding on to the previous point, make sure to reward yourself by visually rewarding progress. We are more satisfied and enjoy it more when we positively reinforce our successes. Having rewards can be something really nice to look forward to or strive towards. A simple way to do this is through food or other leisure activities. I like having foods after a study session, primarily as they taste good and it's good for your health. It's also really nice to be able to kick back at the end of the day and enjoy a new show or do some gaming. This really helps to serve for downtime as your mental health as well. Even social interaction can really help. Another great way to stay motivated is to track your progress. You can do this in multiple ways, such as ticking off something physical like a notebook or using a timetable and crossing off things from there. Personally, I use Todoist, which is a digital to-do list application that I find quite easy to use. Having a to-do list is really great as it keeps you organized and see that you're already closer of your goals instead of just fixating on how much left you have to do. Taking off your to-do list is also a way of setting a short-term goal which can keep you satisfied to stay motivated after you tick off a task and feel a rush of dopamine. Next one is just simply make it fun. How making it fun actually helps is that it helps to reduce friction. The friction is the only thing stopping us from getting started to do work. Friction is the greatest force in the universe and the only thing stopping us from just getting started. So we need to lower the activation energy to make ourselves more willing to do the work. Snacks, spending more time to make your notes look better and more personal are great ways to make it fun. What I find really works for me is my next tip. And the next tip is about having a tidy workspace. Here's a short clip of my desk, and I have everything at an arm's reach and I make sure everything on my desk serves a purpose. For example, I have water bottles to the side which helps to prevent me from having to get up to get more water and lose myself in a state of flow, so I don't need to rely on motivation to get myself back into work. Having a tidy workspace also makes your brain associate this area with being more productive and doing work. Make sure to tidy up often so as to not make it a mess. A really important one is to take breaks. Breaks are often overlooked in our current society as it's all about hustling and trying to get more done. A great way to implement breaks is through the Pomodoro method, where you do 25 minutes of work and take a 5-minute break. However, I use an alternate version which I find more suitable for me, which is 50 minutes of work and a 10-minute break, allowing me to get more deep with my work but still having a pretty good break. Breaks are also really important for helping to prevent burnout. You'll feel much better if you allow yourself to take a break, the day off for example, to just rest instead of always hustling, and you won't feel bad for not getting much done either. Don't go on your phone or use social media during your breaks though, you might just spiral on and waste time. Next up, stay active. It's about getting out of the house and keeping yourself moving since we're stuck at home a lot nowadays. You could go for a walk and exercise, and I do this by cycling and going for workouts. Thomas Frank usually takes walks to stay active, and I find going on a walk really calming, being with your thoughts to reflect on them, especially in our fast-paced modern era. Listening to music and podcasts during these trips also help me to distress as well. Going out like this might seem like a waste of time, but it really helps to clear your mind. Another one that I really like to take advantage of is accountability. It's about having someone there to keep you accountable to do your work. However, as simple as that sounds, you have to make sure that someone is relying on you as well, so that both of you have a reason to improve together. For example, I do this with my friend Lukban by just calling in the morning and trying to get work done. However, you shouldn't do it with someone you're too comfortable with, or you end up forgetting about it and stop caring. So I don't think it's as effective now that we've been doing it for a while. Lastly, what I believe is probably the most important tip here is realizing that motivation is a myth. I found this through Ali Abdaal's video and the book The Motivation Myth by Jeff Hayden. Motivation is something you get, not something you have. Action comes before motivation, and if you get stuff done, motivation will follow.
There is only one recipe for gaining motivation: success. Specifically, the dopamine hit we get when we observe ourselves making progress. The main idea is that motivation doesn't lead to action. Instead, action leads to success, which leads to motivation, which prompts action, which generates more success and more motivation, and this creates a positive dopamine-driven feedback loop. It's these tiny doses of success that give us the motivation that we need to continue.
None of us can stay motivated all the time, so discipline is actually much more important than the motivation, as it keeps us going for much longer. However, building discipline is quite hard, so we have to make it a habit. Willpower is a muscle, and the more we train this muscle by doing tasks, the more likely we are to continue doing it in the future. Thank you so much for watching the entirety of this video. This is my first ever video published, believe it or not. I hope you continue to support my channel and subscribe to watch the rest of the videos that I will be uploading. Share this with someone that needs these tips too.